Ebrahim Rasool, South Africa's former ambassador to the United States, has made a dramatic return home after his expulsion. That's right, expulsion. A word usually reserved for unruly students or bad tenants, but here we are talking about a high-profile diplomat. So what happened? Why did it happen? And what does it mean for South Africa's already complex relationship with the US? Buckle up because we're diving deep into the twists and turns of this diplomatic saga. First, let's talk about Ebrahim Rasool himself. If you don't know who he is, let me paint you a picture. A veteran politician, former premier of the Western Cape, and a man who has been deeply involved in South African politics for decades. Appointed as South Africa's ambassador to the US in 2010, he was expected to be the bridge between Pretoria and Washington. But clearly, that bridge had some structural weaknesses because, fast forward to today, and the man is back home, no longer wearing his diplomatic badge. Now, why was he expelled? That's the million-dollar question. Diplomatic expulsions don't just happen overnight. They are usually the result of intense disagreements, failed negotiations, or, in some cases, actions deemed unacceptable by the host country. And in Rasool's case, the reasons are shrouded in speculation. Was it political? Was it personal? Was it South Africa's foreign policy stance that rubbed Washington the wrong way? The plot thickens. Many are pointing fingers at South Africa's increasingly independent foreign policy. Let's be real. South Africa has not exactly been playing by the US rulebook in recent years. Pretoria has maintained close ties with Russia and China, pushed back against Western narratives, and taken a strong stance on issues like Palestine. And let's not forget that South Africa is a key member of BRICS, the economic alliance challenging Western dominance. So, did Rasool get caught in the crossfire of geopolitical tensions? It certainly looks that way. And then there's the issue of the US itself. Washington has been on a diplomatic power trip lately, exerting pressure on nations that don't align with its interests. South Africa's refusal to condemn Russia outright, its push for economic independence, and its growing ties with alternative global powers have certainly raised eyebrows in the White House. Could this expulsion be a strategic move to send a message? To remind South Africa who's boss? If so, Pretoria doesn't seem to be taking the hint. But let's shift the focus back to Rasool. How does he feel about all this? From what we've gathered, he's maintaining a dignified silence, at least publicly. But behind closed doors, you can bet he's got a lot to say. After all, no one climbs the ranks of politics without knowing how to play the long game. His return to South Africa could mark the beginning of a new political chapter for him. Will he speak out? Will he challenge the government's handling of foreign relations? Or will he quietly fade into the background? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, back in South Africa, reactions are mixed. Some are outraged, seeing this as an attack on the country's sovereignty. Others believe Rasool's expulsion is a symptom of deeper issues within South Africa's foreign policy framework. And of course, there are those who just love the drama and are here for the spectacle. Because let's be honest, South African politics never fails to deliver when it comes to high-stakes, headline-grabbing moments. So where do we go from here? Well, South Africa has two options. It can bow to US pressure and adjust its foreign policy to be more in line with Western interests, or it can double down on its independent approach and strengthen its ties with emerging global powers. Given the current trajectory, it seems like the latter is more likely. The ANC government has made it clear that it will not be bullied into submission, and Rasool's expulsion might just fuel that resolve. One thing is for sure, this story is far from over. Rasool's return home is just the beginning. There are questions to be answered, alliances to be tested, and strategies to be redefined. And as always, we'll be here to break it all down for you. So, what do you think? Was Rasool's expulsion justified? Is South Africa's foreign policy too bold for its own good? Or is this just another chapter in the ongoing battle between global superpowers and emerging nations? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth takes on the biggest stories shaping our world.